It feels like a box. You're inside a box and you're filling the box with heat. The acceptance with my brain. Don't shake it around. It's my waiting room. Admit all. It's so uncomfortable. I love you. Max was so uncomfortable. I tell you why? Because both of his legs was in.
And boom.
So I want it. Oh, Max, come on. Yeah, house. Oh my gosh, I need to go on my feet. I need to go. Why do you have them painted? Not really good. Okay.
Good morning, everyone. Thumbs up, thumbs side, thumbs down. How we doing? Thumbs up? Great. Awesome. All right, I'm going to keep my eyes open. Oh, there it is. That's the one I was waiting on.
See, the sun's already out.
Okay, so our adventure today involves understanding food costs and 20 ways to save money on your groceries. Oh, I need to start with praying. I'm sorry. I don't know why I forget that, and I shouldn't. So, Father God, thank you for bringing us here together. Please let this conversation be useful. Please help it be educational. And above all, let us know your will. In your name we pray. Amen. Amen. All right. So let's talk about ways to save money on your groceries. What did you all come away with from your reading this week? Bryn.
Walk around with a calculator in the store.
It does help, doesn't it? Or is it something that you already were doing? Kind of. How many of you actually are grocery shopping on your own some? Not really, a little bit every once in a while? How many of you are on the grocery shopping trips with your parent? No? Okay, so it's about half and half. So are there any things that you have seen your parent doing that you recognize from these ways to save money on your groceries? All right, tell me about that. Ryan.
Literally every single one.
Are there any that you didn't realize were going on? And then all of a sudden you're like, oh, that's why we do that. Okay, which ones were those? Kenna, you're nodding your head.
Well, I knew that like there were, I knew that we used coupons, but I just didn't know like that my mom did it regularly. Cause every single time we go to a store, she's like, oh, I have this coupon, let's use it. And I'm like, wait, you do that?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Any others?
They don't buy anything without a coupon on it, or if it's on clearance. So,
Right? Maggie, what were you gonna say?
Well, I know that like you buy store brands because then you can get a discount because you have like the coupon kind of thing that it gives you a discount for store brands. But also getting to know your supermarket layout, I thought that was interesting because now we don't go into Target because they changed it up changed it all the way up. And so now we don't know it anymore. And so I was like, that's something that like is frustrating because now you know it. And then it's like they change it up and you're like, darn it, I don't know it anymore.
I think that's a sign of getting old. I get really grumpy when they change the layout of the grocery store. Like an absurd amount of grumpiness. So
yeah, like just recently my mom was like, okay, we're gonna start on the outside because that's where all the vegetables and the like fresh stuff is. And I was like, really? I never noticed that. I never noticed that they put all the junk stuff in the middle.
mm-hmm. And what did you think about the product placement of things on the shelves? Did you know that that was a thing? Taylor.
I had to find the mute button. Okay.
I noticed that like especially around the cash registers, they put the candy and stuff right where the kids will find it.
Mhm.
So that the kids will be like, Mom, I want this. Buy me this. Oh wait, no, I want this too. Get me this too. But yeah, so yeah. Also, they do it right in front of the register because when you're checking out, you're like, oh, you know what? I didn't buy this extra thing, so I can buy a candy bar. You know, I have $2 to spend on it. Or they have those little deals like buy one get one free, and you're like, oh, this is great. I can get two for the same price of one. And it's just like those little tiny purchases that make the difference in the long run.
The cash register places are called impulse buys, where you just have an impulse and you go for it. I was going to also point out there's a little trick of canned items. If it's a canned item, the cheapest canned item is usually the one that has the best flavor all across the way. So it doesn't really necessarily depend on the brand, but the price of it is usually one that's going to end up having the best flavor for you. Random sharing over time. Okay, did it stress anyone out to think that you have to think about these things when you're grocery shopping? Nope, Chase?
Well, I never have to worry about that because me and my parents just order it all online and go pick it up at the store.
Okay, that's actually a really good point. And I will tell you a little hint about that. So for a while COVID was happening, I did Instacart shopping. And so I was the person who went shopping for other people who ordered their groceries online. And what I discovered is that none of the discounts that the store was offering applied to any of the Instacart orders because they couldn't put their personal number in as like a valued shopper. And so they wouldn't get those discounts. Plus Instacart added a fee for every transaction that went to Instacart, and they had to tip me. So it was a really interesting education about just what you're budgeting for in your groceries. And right now, between December and today, I think that the reported increase in price is like 9% of an inflation increase. So if you bought something for a certain amount, it's 9% higher. But my experience has been that it's almost a 20% increase since January because of inflation right now. So all of those are things that you have to pay attention to and maybe start incorporating some of the ways to save money. How can you, as the kids in your family, be a part of that? Mia.
Well, with prices of groceries going up, not wasting as much food or finishing things all the way off and not just throwing away the last little bit or whatever.
Ren.
Not buying things that are not on the grocery list. Because we do more online shopping now just because the amount of time saved. And because dragging me and my brother into stores is just not worth it. Juna's like, ooh, ooh, ooh. And then I try to get everybody out of there as fast as possible. And then mom's grumpy. And then we're all grumpy at each other and it doesn't end well. So, but that, ooh, we can add bagels to the cart and just stuff like that. If you don't do that, it's better in the long run.
I will say, Ren, because you reminded me, your mom introduced me to Walmart Pickup, which is not the same as Instacart or the other place. Like Walmart Pickup is just like shopping, except you drive up and they load it into your back of your car just fine. Yeah, Chase?
That's what I was talking about.
I suddenly realized that there was a difference in what I was thinking of because of my experience and what you guys were probably talking about. But even all of our grocery stores are now offering the ability to just drive up and have your groceries loaded into the back of your car and drive away. And there's no markup on that. It's as if you were grocery shopping. So sorry, I misunderstood your other comment. I apologize. Okay. I think that you guys have touched on a lot of the significant things. And just food is a huge, everybody has to eat. You have to eat. So if you figure out how to eat better, healthier for cheaper, then you're going to end up better. What I will say, and actually I'm not going to say anything because we're going to talk about the impact of your food choices on your health with our action cards this week. So I'm going to just put a lid on that and listen to you all to educate us about that. Let's talk about your exercise with the different store and restaurant meals. What did you discover? Tyler.
I discovered it's a pretty big difference. Like when I went to, oh crap, that's the first one, Olive Garden. Yeah, when I went through like and I did like I researched all of them, at least around here, I was able to get like $15 off and then get more if I spent the actual price. Like they were selling it for. So yeah. Now I realized why we don't go out to eat.
Chase.
Well, I looked up like a T-bone steak and a potato, and it said it's like $55 at a restaurant. But if you go to like Walmart and get it, it's like $30.
Mia.
I think it's also interesting because it depends on the state and area that you live in. Because for us, it was actually cheaper to eat a soup, salad, and breadstick meal at Olive Garden than it was to go to the store and buy all of that stuff for like Arizona in particular. But you can also get a steak for way cheaper. And I'm guessing it would probably be even cheaper in places like the Midwest where there's a lot of it. So I think it depends on where you live also, because different places will have more of a demand or more of a supply and make it so that it's cheaper to buy things like Nebraska and corn.
No, meat's really expensive in Missouri.
Is it? I feel like anywhere along that cattle drive ought to have cheaper meat. Is that true? Like Kansas or no one's from Kansas, right? I don't know. I haven't priced beef out, but I know that if you go to a seafood restaurant or different cuts of meat, of beef, will be the market rate. They won't put the actual price on the menu and it will just be the market rate. And that can make a real difference. So, did any of this get tricky? I know for a fact that 4 of you got tricked on something and I want you to tell me about it. Mia.
So we forgot to factor in the serving sizes in a ketchup and mustard bottle. And that makes a really big difference in your final price because you don't use an entire ketchup bottle for one burger, hopefully, hopefully, unless you're Max. And so that cuts down the price from like $4 to 12 cents. And that makes a very large difference between a $5 burger and a $13 burger.
Yeah, I got the same thing, but with mustard.
Yeah, when everyone came in, they were like, yeah, it's much cheaper to buy it at Burger King. I was like, let us stop and assess your numbers there. Because it's just so much cheaper to do it at home if you pay attention to the serving sizes, which is why that was part of the exercise there. Okay, for your assignment, I'm going to choose one of you to actually give your formal response to this. Kenna, would you give us the formal response to your findings about eating in a restaurant and whether that's a good value?
Sure. People usually say that eating out tends to be more expensive, but in reality, it just depends on where you go to eat. Depending on what you want or what you want for your meal, and it can be more pricey to stay home or more pricey to eat out. To eat soup, salad, and breadsticks meal at Olive Garden, it costs about $11.99. To make all the same food at home, it costs about $15.77. As you can see, it would be a better plan to eat this meal at a restaurant because it would cost you less. We did this test on 2 other restaurants. I'm gonna skip over the Burger King one because I haven't done the ketchup and the mustard thing.
Okay.
Okay. To have a meal at Texas Roadhouse, which contains a filet. Got it. I'm saying it wrong because we messed around so many times yesterday saying it wrong.
Mignon.
Yes. Baked potato and jasmine rice. It would cost about $23.99. To buy all of this and prepare dinner at home, it would cost $10.26. In conclusion, it really just depends on where you go to eat and how you decide to spend your money. Hopefully, you will spend your money wisely. This research was in the area of Arizona, specifically Flagstaff, Arizona.
Great. Thank you. Did any of you research what it costs to make a fountain drink soda versus what you pay for a soda? Okay. For a 32-ounce drink, it costs a restaurant approximately 3 cents, and the cup is about 3 cents. So it's less than a dime to give you a 32-ounce soda for the person providing it. And then if you're at a McDonald's, it's still $1, which everyone thinks is a great deal to get that. But if you go to a restaurant, you'll see that they're charging like $2.50. And that's one of the biggest ways that restaurants can create a buffer of profit, is just with drinks. It's interesting, right? All right. Action card assignments. Let's start with Ryan.
Yes.
What are the top 10 qualities that employers are looking for?
Let me pull it up.
Great.
No. They look for team player, mostly because if you're not, you could be like rude to customers, rude to your coworkers, and hardworking. That's self-explanatory. Wait. And wait, hang on. Let's see. Able to work before play. So that and if you pay attention.
Awesome. Thank you. Maggie, tell us about the secondhand market for clothing.
So when I looked it up, it only pulled up the secondhand markets around where I lived. And so I was like, okay, well, I looked on other things and it was like, sign up for this, sign up for that. So I looked up how much fashion designers make a year, because I was like, I mean, that's kind of the same thing. So in Arizona, the average salary is $49,774, and then the hourly rate is $23.93. So they get that much.
Okay. Thank you. Chase, tell us about ways you can get promoted.
I just did pilot because I kind of want to be a pilot. So, I don't know when this took place, but it's a lot more expensive to be a pilot now than it was back then, because there's there's a lot less pilots and there's gas prices are up and everything. So a commercial pilot, you make anywhere from 50K to like 75,000. Helicopter pilots make like 49,000 to 93,000. Corporate pilots make 55 to 100,000, and then private pilots make 50 to 100,000 a year. A chief pilot makes 64,000 to 100,000, and assistant chief pilot makes 50,000 to 97,000 a year.
Okay. Elijah, tell us about micro expenses.
Okay, so micro expenses are when you spend money on little things that don't seem like they matter, but they add up over time. So, for example, if you buy gum every time you go to the store, it might only be $1 each time, but it would actually add up to more than $50 a year. So one thing you can do is cut back on how often you were to buy the same thing, perhaps the gum, to maybe every other time you went to the store. And then you could maybe put the other half of the money in savings or use it for whatever else you wanted. And then you'd have another $25.
Sounds good. I saw somewhere that you only have to spend like $20 a day on just random stuff to get an expensive $10,000 a year. So thank you. Taylor, talk to us about dental care.
Right. So if you didn't catch that, I got braces from Mexico because that's the cheapest I could find. Okay, so I have a list of cheapest to most expensive. I didn't get the like most expensive, but so far what I found is the US is the most expensive from $1,500 to $6,000. And Mexico, it's $699. And that's it. There's no like range. It's just $699. The top 10 cheapest for dental is Turkey, Hungary, Croatia, that's what I meant. Poland, the Czech Republic, Mexico, Germany, and then Thailand. I mean, it really depends on how you want the final product to look, because if you go to Mexico, you're gonna look like a donkey.
Does that mean you look like a donkey?
No, I look like I'm just amazing, you know.
She's right there with Maggie's botch tattoo.
Right up there with Maggie's botch tattoo.
Did you, Taylor, did you find anything about the way, I'll just say it. One of the ways if you travel internationally, you know how people will notice what country you're from based on different characteristics you have? Have you ever heard about that? One way that people know people from the US is because our teeth are straight across the board, because other countries just don't do dental care. They're like, it is what it is. So thank you, Taylor. Mia, talk to me about the unhealthy lifestyle choices effect on medical costs. I said that very awkwardly, but you know what I mean.
Okay. I have like a pretty short paper, so I'm just gonna read it. Everyone knows that working out can be really beneficial, especially for your physical health and well-being. Exercising can also be very good for your mental health. Working out can be very good, can be a very specific and personal thing. And while working out can be considered a competitive sport, many people use it to push themselves past their comfort zones and into new, oftentimes better versions of themselves, physically, mentally, and emotionally. The lack of physical exercise can be detrimental to one's health. Studies have shown that individuals who work out can live longer and happier lives.
Lots of health issues can come about by a lack of fitness. These can include problems like metabolic diseases, joint and skeletal problems, cardiovascular diseases, hypertension, overweight, violence, and so on can be caused by an unhealthy lifestyle. It is also well documented that certain behaviors and lifestyles are hazardous to personal health. Consuming foods high in LDL cholesterol, smoking, being overweight, and physical inactivity are the key modifiable risk factors in coronary heart disease, the leading cause of death in the United States. These can also have a major impact on medical finances, especially with I don't know what the word is, but health issues that you have to see different doctors for, specialized health issues like coronary heart disease that cause multiple doctor's visits a week, a month, a year. And most insurances don't cover that. Yeah.
Thank you. Awesome. Samuel, talk to me about little inventions.
Okay, so I got the bread tie it was listed at. If anybody gets a repeat, I asked Google for the inventor of the bread tie. It came up with the inventor of the bread clip. So you're going to need to be more specific if anybody gets a repeat of this and you want the bread tie. Okay, so Floyd Paxton invented bread clips. According to family legend, he invented them while on a plane flight, and he carved the first one out of a credit card. That's, of course, according to his family legend, like I said, so who knows how much of that is true. He originally sold them to close apple bags, bags that hold apples, not bags that Apple makes. He grew in popularity and then created his own business. In 1968, he retired and his son, Jerry, succeeded him. Jerry died in 2015 and his 3 daughters took over the business as directors. I noticed it said, though, he had neglected to train them or prepare them at all for this. It worked out, however, and their business continued growing, and they soon employed upwards of 330 people, had 6 global factories, and they now sell their products in over 80 countries. They have 4 sustainability strategies, which are unlocking opportunities through education and economic success, improving the health, safety, and well-being of all people, protecting people, places, and the planet. And finally, they say that they are fostering innovation in food safety, access, and manufacturing. And they have been impacted for generations. You can tell this because they still have their business, and they obviously haven't gone bankrupt in that. So it has obviously impacted their family for the better economically, at least, for quite a while.
Do you know what the bread clips are, everyone? The little plastic things we throw away? 330 people have jobs because of that bread clip. Thanks, Samuel. Kenna, how about inheritances?
Okay, so I researched specifically ways to manage your inheritance smartly, so you don't just like waste it all on stupid things. So some really good things to do is to pay off any debt or mortgages that you have. If you inherit like jewelry or a piece of artwork or something like that, then you may need to increase your property coverage to allow you to save that or put it somewhere safe. Or there are other ways you can also think about completing some of your life goals that you wanted to do or finishing some that you haven't finished, like giving to charity or helping a family member with their education, paying for all of their schooling or whatever, helping your retirement plan, etc. After you are smart with your money, then you can have fun with it and spend it on more like things for yourself, like go out on the lake, have fun with your family, do a bunch of activities that you'd like to do. My source was manageyourinheritance.com.
Thank you. Tyler, how about the economic benefits of eating at home?
Okay. Yeah. Okay. What I found is it kind of depends on where you are and what your economy's like. Like Arizona and other places and Western states, it's cheaper to eat out, but it could be more expensive right now because of gas prices and such. So you just have to factor all that in, and depending on the type of person you are, like I hate cooking but I hate going out to eat. So I usually just cook something small and don't eat a lot. But it really just depends on who you are, because around here, you can go to somewhere like Taco Bell, McDonald's, and get a meal for like $10. And you can get that same thing for like if you get it at the store, you can get it for like $5 or $7. So it's much more of a personal decision than, yeah.
All right, thank you.
And if you go to the store, it's probably more healthy.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. Ren, $5 a day meals and a week's meal plan.
Okay, so I struggled with the serving divisions thing as well, but I think I created a template. So first off, I discovered in looking that Wednesday is the best day to shop if you want good deals, because it's the middle of the week. So they mark down all of last week's stuff that didn't sell, and then they mark up all the next week's stuff, so you can get all of last week's stuff cheaper. I found that really interesting. Anyway, so for breakfast, I eat yogurt. That is what I like. And I mean, we know how to make yogurt, so you could do that, and it's actually cheaper than buying yogurt. But for this template, I just said that we were buying yogurt. And the Greek yogurt I like, it's $5 and it's 6 servings worth of yogurt. So it's around $1 a day, pretty much, for your yogurt for breakfast. And then I discovered that sandwiches are really good, whether it's like pulled pork sandwiches or barbecue chicken or just regular cheese and ham sandwiches. And eggs are something you can buy in large quantities that are super cheap. So you have egg meals and sandwich meals. So I think barbecue chicken, and it's like a double serving, so I have leftovers for like 2 days. And I think it's like $2 a serving. So if you make servings with a recipe that's like $8, you have 4 things worth of servings throughout the week. And then ramen and lentil soup. I really like lentil soup. Lentils are super, super cheap. It's like $1 a serving or something. So lentil soup, ramen, yogurt, and sandwiches are very effective meals.
Those are
If you don't like yogurt, oatmeal or cream with wheat, but I like yogurt. So bagels are a good deal too. It's $4 for a thing of bagels, and that has at least 5 bagels in it.
So it's possible to eat for $5 a day.
Definitely.
Yep.
It depends on what you like to eat. If you're okay with soups and sandwiches and oatmeal and yogurt for breakfast, pancakes, actually, if you make your own pancakes and buy in bulk, across like 2 or 3 weeks, it works out to be super cheap. It's less than $1 a serving or something like that. It's pretty cheap. It's 50 cents and something. It's 50 cents and some change. But
absolutely.
there's lots of different things.
You don't have to only eat ramen.
No, you don't. You can eat other stuff.
Awesome. Okay,
But ramen's so good.
it is. But you know what? I had a college roommate who said that every package of ramen took an hour off of your life, which means that I'm probably going to die about a year sooner than I should have, because I like ramen
Probably-
noodles. So
I'll probably die by 50 then.
It's, the packaged ramen does have a lot of,
it has a lot of
there's a
sodium.
bunch of stuff in it. I don't know. We just buy the noodles and then use broth. And that stuff
Yeah.
is really good.
Well,
So.
it makes a difference. If you're buying top ramen, you're getting what you pay for. So, but there are ways to do it much nicer. Okay, thank you. I think I got everyone right. Okay, let's look at your annual financial standing for this year. Let me see if I can share my screen. Every time I do this, I no longer can see all of your faces. So if you want to say something, just unmute and start talking, all right? So here's my spreadsheet, which has your career, your house, your action card, leftover debt from school, which I think everybody, except for Ryan, because Ryan has had a rough go of being fired. Poor Ryan. Everyone else is out of debt from school. You have your spouse with an 80% salary. Did everyone add your food cost in this year? 11% of your gross. Now, what I did, if you had leftover money from last week, I threw it into savings. This number up here matches this number down here. So some of you are starting to acquire quite a bit of savings, and some of you have not yet quite gotten there because you're not out of debt yet, or you're just finishing paying all of that off. If your numbers at the end, this is your cumulative. So this number right here is what you have annually. And then this number down here is your rollover number that should come into this week of week 4. Okay, does everyone have the same agreement? Okay, if you don't have this, then we need to just talk about it and make sure our numbers are right. And then the standings right here have you ranked from 1 to 11, and there's a pretty, I mean, there's a $700,000 difference between top and bottom as far as standings. So I want to take a minute and talk about what are the things you think are impacting your financial standing. Tyler.
I just want to point out that Kenna's on top and Taylor's on the bottom. I love that because they're both sisters.
All right, Ryan.
Getting fired twice in a row
Right. Why do you think that mattered?
because I had to pay half my profit, or not profit, annual pay.
Yeah, with like no time in between to get caught up. Just boom, boom. Okay. Maggie, you had an understanding of what is affecting your financial standing this week.
Yes. So I rolled for a new career and I was like, oh, I don't want to pay anything in the beginning, like to start off my career. And so I had doctor along with a lot of other ones. And now I realize that I shouldn't have become a race car driver. I should have become a doctor instead, because I would have gotten a lot more money and I would be out of debt right now if
I wondered why you picked race car driver.
Because it sounded fun.
And it was cheap.
All right, Ren.
Housing.
Okay. Yeah, your housing is going to affect you, isn't it? That's one of your main expenses. And some of you are in the spot right now where you're trying to decide whether it's worth rolling for a new house or just holding on because you know kids are coming. So why do you think when I designed this, I didn't have you get kids and a spouse on the same week?
So you can get settled.
Right. what's
Also,
normal?
when do kids come?
What was that, Chase?
When do kids come?
I think kids are gonna come on session 6.
All right.
I'm
Please give-
I'm double checking that. Oh, nope, session 5. So next week. So you'll have 2 weeks of a salary of both of you before you start getting the expenses of a child. So, Kenna,
Also, it would be kind of weird to get married and have children in the same year.
that is
I
true. Although I actually know a handful
think you
of
should-
people that have like snapped on it. But yeah,
Well,
you're
I just think that you should be married for at least 2 or 3 years before you have children. That's just my opinion, but
Well, and everybody's allowed to make that choice with their partner, right? That's what you should be talking about. And then if life happens and suddenly you have a baby, then you adapt and you work with it. Any other thoughts about things that have impacted your financial standing so far? Okay. With that in mind, would anyone like to roll for a new house? Kenna? Okay, where's my piece of paper?
Get a mansion.
All right. You have 4 choices. A tree house, a penthouse, a windmill, the suburban dream, and that's your 4 choices. Would anyone else like to roll for a house? Okay.
okay, so wait, I have a question.
Yeah.
Does rolling for a house have like can you roll and roll and roll for a house?
You can
Or
roll.
does it have like a limit?
You can roll
Does it have a
every
limit?
week for a new house. You can only choose from the options that are here. And you
Okay.
don't have to
Can
change
I
your
roll?
house if you don't want to.
Okay. Can I roll again?
Okay.
For-
Maggie, you also got a 4. A mansion. A starter home. Grandma's house, which you know you can't have because that only lets one live. And a farmhouse. All right, Mia.
So, like right now, I have an occupancy of 6. To determine how many kids we have, you'll roll a dice, right? How does that
Could
happen?
be anything
So
from
then-
1 to 6. Next week.
So then, if I get a 6, that would be 8. I'd have to buy a new house, right?
Exactly.
Okay.
And if you roll for a new house and none of the occupancies work, you pay a fine and you have to wait till next week to roll again. Okay, Kenna, what are you deciding?
Just a minute, because she's looking up pictures of one of the options. But I'm pretty sure I'm gonna go with the penthouse.
Maggie?
Wow. The starter home. Can I switch really quick to the suburban dream?
Yes, it is
It's
not.
same.
too
It's the
soon.
same thing.
Okay.
I roll for a job.
What was that?
Can I get a new job?
Yeah.
Same.
All right, so let's go with Chase first. Have to get my little things right. All right, so Chase, you have 6 choices. Something good's gonna come out of this, I know it. All right.
I'm gonna get one.
Fitness instructor, singer, accountant, construction worker, customer service rep, race car driver. All right, and that's the second time that you have drawn for a career. So whatever you choose this time is yours unless you end up getting fired for something. Okay, who else wanted to trade careers? Ryan? Ryan, you either get fired or choose a new job. Is that what's going on here? Let me just pick one thing. All right, 4 options.
Whew.
A teacher, an athlete,
Or MBA teach.
a secret agent, or a diesel mechanic.
Or MBA teacher.
I will hurt you.
All right,
Sure.
anyone else rolling for, you can think about it. I'll get everybody who wants to roll and then I'll come back around. Maggie, you want to roll for a new career?
Yes, please.
You don't want to be a race car driver anymore? So
She
this,
doesn't want to crash.
you get 2 choices. A barista or a construction worker.
I'm sorry, Maggie. That's terrible.
Would anyone
I
else
can
like
see
to
some
roll
other
for a new career?
Not after that.
Ryan, have you
I'm
decided?
gonna be the secret agent.
You're going to be a secret agent. Okay. So what you're going to have to do is sort out if you owe any more money. We're going to have to plug that into what you do. I'm not looking at it right now. Hold on. The secret agent, you pay $100,000 to the bank for your tuition, and then you can take your salary, which is 120, and start applying it for the next week's annual financial statement. What's your question?
Does my wife's job also get changed?
Your wife's job will also change, and so it will be 80% of your salary.
Okay.
All right, Chase. Chase went away.
Can we just fire Ryan again? He's gonna be fired again. So, I mean,
Okay.
Ryan, I could see you as a secret agent. You would make a really great secret agent.
There we go.
no, he wouldn't.
Here comes Chase again.
You
All
can't
right,
be talking.
Maggie, have you made a decision about your career?
I got kicked out.
Well, none of them were better than my old one, and their old one's cooler. But I think I want to be a construction worker.
Okay.
Really?
Okay.
I'm
Chase,
gonna stick with a dental hygienist.
all right. All right. We've got careers. We're all good. We've gotten housing, we've gotten careers. Are you ready to do action cards? I mean, it's a little rough right now for a few of you. So let's see if we can get it better with your action cards. Now remember, we have a limited number of action cards and I've been taking them out. There are a few that are repeated, like the earn a promotion. But once we run out of action cards, I'm gonna recycle the ones we've already done. So if you get one that somebody has already spoken on this topic, the goal is to get a different angle on that same topic. Okay, Chase, you have gotten divorced. It's a sad situation. So you have to pay half of all of your money that you currently have at the end of this week to the bank. And
Does he not get children next week then?
Oh, Chase, that's right. I forgot. I didn't take that out. We broke the game. You are not divorced. We can't get divorced until after you've had children. Sorry.
Wait, what? Come on, I don't want kids.
It's just the rule. We did this last 2 weeks ago, and I totally forgot to take out the little card. Thank you, Kenna. Hey, I have a better one for you. It's not so good for everyone else. You found buried treasure. Collect $10,000 from each player.
How much would that be?
So you will get 100,000 to yours, and everyone else will lose 10,000. Okay. Elijah, are you ready for your exciting action card experience right here, right now? The medical bills are mounting. Pay $50,000 to the bank. All right, I should be looking at this. Your topics are different. Okay, so medical bills are mounting. Research different types of medical insurance programs. And find buried treasure. Chase, research the economics of lottery tickets and whether they're a good buy. All right, Lydia is not here, but I'm gonna draw for her. She has to move out. And then she has to choose a new house because she's moving out. And that's gonna be the basement, which she can't live in because she's married. So what happens when that happens, the occupancy for a basement is 1, but she's married and that's 2. So if none of the cards fit the size of the family, which is what just happened, you're assessed $50,000 and then you draw for housing the next week.
So
Okay,
you're homeless for an entire year.
you're just having to make it work for a year. Maybe someone's sleeping in the closet. It's hard to say, but it's not ideal. All right, Kenna. Your pet destroys your furniture. Pay $50,000 to the bank.
Some furniture.
Research how to furnish your house. Create a plan for furnishing a 2-bedroom, 1-bathroom house, including the cost of furniture, linens, decorations, etc. All right, Maggie. Attend a birthday party. Give $10,000 to every player. So you're gonna give, so that's gonna cost you 100,000 and everyone else gets 10,000.
I feel you, Maggie. I know how it feels.
I don't, and I like.
You know how to get fired, Ryan.
$110,000. Thank you, guys.
Right. And then Maggie, research the average cost of hosting a birthday party as well as attending a birthday party. Mia, get a haircut. Pay $10,000 to the bank.
Even I know that's outrageous.
Research what it takes to deliver a great haircut. Is this a skill that could benefit you to learn? I'm just going to tell you, for a woman who gets their hair like colored and done every 5 to 6 weeks, which is what is recommended, they're paying about $150 every 2 weeks or every 6 weeks. It's craziness. It is outrageous. All right, Ryan, throw a dinner party. Pay $10,000 to every player. So it's going to cost you 100 And
Now I know how
everyone
it feels and
else
I
is
don't
gonna
like it.
get 10.
Hey, now you know how it feels.
Right, throw a dinner party. Your topic this week is to research the economical ways. I just found a typo. It's not the wows, it's the ways of hosting a party for 20 people. Plan and price out the menu and the activities. Rin, call in sick to work and pay $10,000 to the bank. Research the hidden costs of workplace absenteeism. I'm just gonna say you look super excited about your topic right now. Samuel, you're the compromise captain. Keep this card and play at any time to protect you from divorce. And research peacemaking techniques for relationships. So you and Elijah are the owners right now of the get out of divorce cards. And I'm just saying, you could sell those to someone if the need comes up.
I'll buy it for 100 grand right now.
Taylor, assemble your own furniture, collect $20,000 from the bank. Research the benefits of the DIY, the do-it-yourself movement. Tyler.
When you get divorced and you're in like debt like Ryan is, do you split the debt or? Okay.
Yes. He's like, I want to get divorced. No, you don't want to. All right. Tyler, lawsuit. Sue another player for squashing your prized tomatoes. Collect $50,000 from any other player.
You know what? Hang on.
My heart dropped.
Wait, how much did he make me pay him?
Did you choose?
Hang on 1 second. I'm looking.
Not me. Don't do me.
You were unmuted.
All right, so we're all waiting to see who you're gonna take your $50,000 from.
I'm gonna take it from Kenna. I'm not gonna let you get $500,000.
All right, and then research the economic consequences of lawsuits on private citizens.
How much did he take from me?
50,000.
You suck, Tyler.
That's not too much.
Okay.
You're the one that was $500,000.
At least it wasn't me.
Does everyone have an action card? We're good? Okay. So when you're looking through that, remember that your topics are back here on page 103 to 107. And try to stay on topic unless it's a repeat. Now let's look at next week. Next week, we're going to be talking about budgeting. So first, read the article, Budgeting for Teens, Grow Your Money While You're Young. Then we're going to go through and look through the different categories of budgeting. You have an assignment to break down your salary so you know how much you should be spending in each area. You have an action card assessment, then you'll do your annual financial standing. Do you have any questions about that?
No, but my birthday paid off. I'm up like 130.
All right. We have some sadness and some happiness, and that's just a good way to be, right?
And some anger.
And some anger. It's all part of the game of life. So
I lost no money. I'm happy.
Hey, at least I
I
didn't get
really,
fired.
really wanted to take that 50K from Ryan, but
Well, I appreciate you guys. And
No.
also, like, realize this is supposed to be fun. It's supposed to be thought provoking, but don't take it too seriously. Okay. I hope you guys have an excellent holiday and we'll see you on Tuesday.
Captain America's better than Iron Man.
How could he say such a thing?
I agree.
see,
I agree with that statement.
Wait, what is
Mia,
It
you're
just
the one who
came.
likes freaking Captain Marvel. I gotta
Wait.
go.
Thank you, Miss
What-
Veal.
Captain
You said-
Marvel.
What did he say?